Staff members and dear students. A warm good morning to all of you. I welcome Mr. Manikandan from the youth camp Phobia among our guests this morning. And he now needs no introduction. He is being visiting our campus quite frequently. And he has been shouldering a very great responsibility of training our college students to find placement. So we are happy to announce that 9 of our present final year students have been placed in L&T and essential companies, and it's really a joy for every one of us. And what we have started, we would like to keep this momentum and see that many of our present final year students will find a job during their stay in this academic year itself. And we are also planning to bring other companies to conduct campus interview in our college during this academic year. Now I would like to congratulate these final year students who have been selected by these companies. And when I read their names, I request them to come on the stage. We would like to congratulate you. First, those students who have been placed in L&T, Anuban of Final Mechanical, next, Raj Morgan, Final Mechanical. Next, Sidhu Jose, Final Mechanical. Then Nitya, Final ECE. Next, Silva Aras, Final ECE. Next, Nagaland, Final ECE. Priya Darshini, final year, Computer Science. So these students have been placed in L&T, the others are from Essential. First, Tinu, final year ECE. Then Kartika, final year ECE. So today's program will be, the first part will be, Mr. Manikandan will be giving a speech with PowerPoint presentation on motivation, and then these students who have been selected, they will speak their experience maybe for about a minute or two, and then it will be followed by the actions that we are going to take by our placement coordinator, Mr. Anand. So these are the things that we keep in mind, and very seriously we are thinking how to place our present third years and the second years. So the training that we have decided to give to our final years we are really thinking how we can give that to present third years and second years. So that is why we involved all the students today for this meeting. And those who are in the third years and second years, I want you to follow this program very carefully and you yourself should start preparing yourself or getting ready for placement when you enter the next year. So thank you. Once again, I congratulate all these persons who have been placed in these various companies. And now I hand over the mic to Mr. Manikandan.
So God bless all. Very good morning to all of you. Good morning to all of you. Right. So I would like to thank first of all our principal, then the staff members who have joined this party, and most importantly the people who have got the patience enough to listen to me for the next couple of minutes. So I would like to first of all give a promise to all you people, my dear friends. Now my sincere congratulations to all those 9 people who have made up to the companies LFG, Kodak and Accenture. And together we shall start this session with a promise from the self and a promise from all you people. The promise goes like this. When I stepped into this auditorium today, I came up with a visualization that the number of students who are standing on this stage after getting achieved in the company after getting placed should be multiple in nature in the years to come. That's my visualization. And today, from the 2008 batch, we have 9 students who have got placed. And in the forthcoming days, we are going to have multiple numbers of people from the 2008 batch, multiple numbers of people from the 2009 and 2010 batch to occupy the stage as placed achievers, and that's a promise from my side. And will you be taking this promise? Just like I have taken this promise, will you be taking this promise to yourself? Yes or no? Yes. Right, that sounds good. Thank you so much. So friends, I always believe in one saying. The saying goes like this. Greatest things ever are achieved in this world from the point when there is no hope at all. Like the point where there are no hopes, that point was the starting point for all the greatest achievements which have been happening in this world. So, here in this college, which has just delivered only 1 batch so far, placement was a no hope point, but now we have made it achieved. So gradually we will get into the pinnacle by having the same belief. Even I told the statements, but after when you step into the placement section, after when you step into the placement domain, you will definitely understand, you will then realize the worth of the words that I uttered now. Fine, so what is the agenda for the next couple of minutes? Don't worry, I'm not going to perturb you for the hours together. I'm going to talk only a few minutes as per the agenda. See friends, I'm here to share what are all the preliminary steps that all you people have to take, not only for campus placement, but also for a good well-being in the future. In the rest of the minutes, I'm not going to talk about soft skills, but I'm going to talk about life skills. There is always going to be a difference between soft skills and life skills. If I talk about how to face an interview, that is soft skill. If I talk about how you can face the entire life, how you can face the crisis situations, if I talk about how you can face the embarrassments in life, it is not soft skills, it is life skills. So we will have to deliberate upon talking about the life skills instead of soft skills in the next couple of minutes. Now, point number 1. What is it going to take for you people to get the placement? What is the first and foremost point that you people should have at the top of your mind for getting placed? Not your communication skill, not your speaking skill, not your confidence, not your enthusiasm, but the first and foremost point that all you people should have at the top of your head is a very solid and a very bright attitude. Positive attitude, but I'm not going to talk about the positive attitude here. No. I don't want to be one among the 11s and 20s of people who are talking about positive attitude and confidence. I'm always different. I would like to say that you people should infer an attitude which is glorious in nature, an attitude which you should have for facing the failure first of all. An attitude which you should hold for facing lots of hardships when you are trying for placement or any kind of achievement. An attitude you should have for getting the embarrassments, criticisms, comments from the other people. இப்போ யாராவது ஒரு கமெண்ட் பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்னா நார்மலாக நம்ம என்ன செய்வோம்? ஒரு ரூம்ல போய் தனியாக உட்காந்து அழுவோம். அப்படி இல்லைன்னா யாரோ ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட் வந்து நம்மளுக்கு அட்வைஸ் பண்ணணும்னு நினைப்போம். அப்படி இல்லையா? We will be having a lifetime nature in our family or in our relative circuit or in anybody, in any other circuit. We will be expecting that person should come and give a sort of motivating advice or some instructions to us. இதெல்லாம் normal human beings பண்ற strategies, normal human beings. These are the measures which normal human beings take during the time of adversities in their life. But we students நான் என்ன செய்தீங்களே உங்களுக்கு சொல்றேன். But you students have to take up a stance of being self-motivated and having an attitude for facing everything. A current form of attitude for facing everything. அதுக்கு தான் நான் சொன்னேன். An attitude which would be unstable for the failures which you are possibly going to face in the future. Success எப்படி face பண்ணணும் யார் வேணாலும் ட்ரெயின் பண்ணிடலாம். But facing the failure is what is more important, my dear friends. 11 people who got shortlisted for L&T and 90 people who had appeared for L&T, all those people are having the attitude which I am talking about right now. Your seniors who are the 2008 batch, அவங்களுக்கு இப்போ நான் சொல்ற attitude already இருக்கு. Now, this afternoon they are going to get trained from me again for the next battle, for the next placement scenario. Just because getting failed in one particular domain, you are not going to be lost. Just because you have not made up in one aptitude test of one company, you are not going to be thrown. A company which comes to the college seeking for giving the placement positions for the students has only one belief in the mind. What is that belief in the mind of the company? They just want how one particular candidate is performing. They just want to know how one particular candidate is performing at that point of moment. In that point of moment, if the candidate is not performing well, it doesn't mean that the candidate is not to do well. And the candidate is still illa அப்படினு முடிவு பண்ண முடியாது. Just because you have not done one examination which is run for the span of 3 hours, it doesn't mean that you are complete a student with a less caliber. அதே மாதிரி when a company comes and if you are miserably getting failed, you have not even got shortlisted in the first round. If you are miserably getting failed, it doesn't mean that you are worthless candidate, my dear friends. It only means that you did not prove your candidature at that moment of time. ஒரு டைம்ல being a trainer, ஏதாவது ஒரு பேட்ச்ல இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பெரிய crowdக்கு நான் motivation speech கொடுக்கும்போது I might be failing in motivating the people. So just because getting failed in one instance of motivating a big crowd, it doesn't mean that I'm a worthless trainer. No. Even if all the people are calling me as a worthless trainer, unless and otherwise, I call myself as a worthless trainer. The worthless trainer, அப்படிங்கிற the word, doesn't get truth. So, my dear friends, less confidence, low self-esteem, fear about the future, and fear about your own qualities. Everything becomes true only when you say those things to yourselves. Not by others saying those things to yourself, but only when you are saying those comments against yourselves, all those statements are becoming true. So this is our first message for getting placed. Placement into modern measure, this form of attitude. Right? So am I agreed upon this point? You got this point? Yes or no? Right. Okay. So as time progresses, the loudness in the word yes will definitely raise, and that's my confidence, and this is a challenge between you and me. Right. So friends, this presentation is about a very important weakness that all we people have. Now, I know that this presentation is not visible to the people at the last, but I will read it for you. Now, I am reading the first sentence in the first slide. Listen to me. Remember how you learned to walk as a child. Every time you took a step, you wobbled and fell. Now, what do I want to instill by saying this particular statement? Friends, when we were children, we fell plenty of times while we were trying to walk. When we started to learn to ride bicycle, we fell so many times when we started to ride. Similarly, when you want to learn one martial art, any defensive martial art, you would have been attacked in your entire physique. It would be painful. But during the time of childhood, we had never hesitated to get up back. During the time of childhood, we had never hesitated to seek others' help to get up back. And during the time of childhood, when we fell off the cycle, we never hesitated to get up back, putting ourselves back into the cycle before riding again. அப்போ இருந்த அந்த attitude இப்ப நமக்கு இல்லாம இருக்கிறதுக்கு காரணம் like the attitude that we had when we were a child, the attitude that we had when we were a little boy or a little girl is missing. That particular attitude is missing now. That was a failure. Like falling down was a failure. Falling down out of the cycle was a failure. But we didn't know that it was a failure. But today, we know what is failure and what is success. We fix awareness towards it and we get equally hurt by the failure. அன்னைக்கு இருக்கிறத விட இன்னைக்கு வயசு ஜாஸ்தி, அன்னைக்கு இருக்கிறத விட இன்னைக்கு காமன் சென்ஸ் ஜாஸ்தி, அன்னைக்கு இருக்கிறத விட இன்னைக்கு presence of mind ஜாஸ்தி. ஆனா அன்னைக்கு இருந்ததை விட இன்னைக்கு பயமும் சேர்ந்து ஜாஸ்தி ஆயிடுச்சு. So this is the problem why a particular candidate is thinking that placement is a dull thing, a placement is some fearful aspect. So in the thinking, placement அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு fearful aspect. நம்ம seniors யாருமே place ஆகணும், நாம place ஆகுமா அப்படிங்கிற இந்த thinking உங்க மைண்ட்ல இருக்கிற வரைக்கும், however worthy candidate you are, my dear friends, you are not going to make it. I'm sorry. I'm not saying this statement as a discouraging statement, but I'm saying this as a truth. So this attitude of yours should be removed from your mind. So அது உங்களுக்கு புரிய வைக்கிறதுக்காக தான் இந்த statement. Now, getting prepared for placement அப்படிங்கிறதுல first step attitude அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பார்த்தோம். Second step, this tendency of getting up again irrespective of how many times you fall down. Now this is our second point. That is the tendency of getting up again irrespective of the times you fall down. It doesn't matter how many times you fall down, it only matters how many times you get up. So, இதை எது கூட நான் கம்பேர் பண்றேன் அப்படி சொல்லி கேட்டா, the number of companies you are facing, the number of HRs who are coming and seeing you, the number of people who are testing your candidature, the number of corporate professionals who are coming here and looking at you, எல்லாரும் ரிஜெக்ட் பண்ணலாம். But it doesn't mean that you have been becoming worthless. So எல்லா டைம்லயுமே I want to instill one point into your mind, that is அந்த மொமெண்ட்ல நான் சரியா பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணலங்கறத மட்டும் நீங்க புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா you will not have pains. Now this is my second insistence. Third insistence. A life lived in fear is a life half lived. What are the fears we have, my dear friends? What are the categories of fears we have in life? நம்ம லைஃப்ல இருக்கிற fears உடைய categories எல்லாம் என்னென்ன? You might be facing the fears. I have listed down the categories. I'll read it for you. You need not worry that it is not visible for you. You might be facing the categories of fear like fear number 1, fear for unknown. என்னன்னே தெரியாது ஆனா ஒரு பயம். If I call you as a person who is worthy enough to face an interview என்ன தெரியாது உடனே ஒரு பயம். Just because we don't know what is interview, we get scared of interview. Look at the ignorance we have. இதுக்கு பேர் தான் தமிழ்ல அறியாமைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So, just because you don't know one particular aspect, why should you get scared of it? So the first reason why you are getting feared is the unknown. Second reason, failure. The reason for your fear is failure. You think that you are going to get failed. The moment you think, you are going to make it happen. When you are thinking that you are going to get failed, you have your decision and you have already fixed your destination. So the second reason for fear is your failure. Third reason, rejection. இது வந்து பிளேஸ்மென்ட்க்கு இல்ல. எந்த ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயத்தை நீங்க செய்யறதா இருந்தாலும், whatever the new task you are trying to take up, whatever the new step you are trying to take up, you will have a fear that you are going to be rejected. You will have the fear that you are going to be eliminated. You will have the fear that you are going to be put aside. நம்மள ஒதுக்கிடுவாங்கன்ற பயம். எல்லாருக்கும் அட்டென்ஷன் கிடைக்கும், எனக்கு மட்டும் அட்டென்ஷன் கிடைக்காது. seek for attention னு சொல்லுவாங்க சைக்காலஜிக்கலா. நம்ம ஒரு விஷயத்தை செய்யணும் அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு உடனே வந்து நம்ம யாராவது 4 பேர் பார்க்கணும் அப்படிங்கிற அந்த எண்ணம் நம்ம எல்லாருடைய மைண்ட்ல இருக்கும். I have a seek of attention. You have a seek of attention. Every single person doing a particular thing has the seek of attention. Priests and saints, சாமியார்களுக்கு மட்டும் தான் அந்த attention இருக்காது. We are normal human beings. அதனால அந்த attention, seek for attention அப்படிங்கிற அந்த பழக்கம் நம்மளுக்கு இருக்கிறதுனால தப்பே கிடையாது. But that should not be the reason for your fear, my dear friends. The seek for attention should not be the reason. And that's a rejection சொல்றேன். What if I am rejected by doing this particular task? What if I am put aside by taking this particular step? What if I am put somewhere else by thinking like this? This is the next reason for our fear. The next reason, criticism. The next reason for our fear is criticism. We are all scared that we are going to be criticized because of doing one aspect. We are all scared that we are going to be commented on by doing one particular aspect. ஸ்டேஜ்ல வந்து இப்போ யாராவது வந்து இங்கே நின்று உங்களுடைய ஒப்பீனியன் சொல்லுங்கன்னு சொல்லி நான் கூப்பிட்டப்போ உங்க எல்லாராலையும் வர முடியும். Every single person can come here. Every single person can make a way to come here, being on the stage in the same platform that I am standing on, and you can hold the same mic I can hold now, and you can utter the same words just like I am uttering. But what is the blocking thing? You are fearing for criticism. You are fearing for the comments that all these people are going to make. You are fearing for the complete levels of words that are going to be uttered from others' mouth. And the last reason for the failure, success. The success itself will be a reason for the failure. How am I going to deal with when I am getting successful? How am I going to deal with the people when I am getting successful? How am I going to feel? How am I going to handle the environment when I am getting successful? So that is the last reason, right? This is not the last reason. These listed down points are one among the few reasons that we are going to be worried about. Now, how to handle all these fears? In the fears, motivation speech, அப்படின்னு சொல்லி வரும்போது இந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸ் பத்தி நான் பேசி இதுக்கு நான் சொல்யூஷன் கொடுக்கல அப்படின்னா it's waste. Now, how to handle these fears? How to handle these reasons for fears? It's very simple. See, I know how worthy I am. I know how sensible I am. I know what are the capabilities I have. If I know all this, I will not have these feelings. If I know why I am appreciated, if I know by doing what I am appreciated, if I know by doing or by taking what step I am appreciated, I will definitely be not immune to these categories. So my dear friends, what I am coming to say, the third insistence, the third point I would like to instill upon your mind as far as the placement, as far as the lifestyle is concerned, try to search for the brightest points of yours. You make others smile, that's a bright point, it means you have a good sense of humor. You make others think by saying some opinions, it means you have eccentric way of talking, that's your bright point. You make others laugh by coming to a certain place. The place நீங்க வந்தாலே உங்களை பார்த்து சிரிக்கிறாங்கன்னா நான் வந்து ஒரு பஃபூன் மாதிரி இருக்கேன்னு நீங்க நினைக்கிற அவசியம் இல்லை. You are a person who has got the entertaining lot which could stimulate others to smile, which could stimulate others to laugh. That is also a brightest point. இந்த மாதிரி நீங்க எலிமினேட் பண்ற எல்லா வீக்னஸஸும் யோசிச்சு பார்த்தோம்னா உங்களுடைய brightest points தான் இருக்கு. But we don't think deep. We don't contemplate deep. And since we don't contemplate deep, we don't have the power to identify our brightest points. So this is my third insistence of measure, my dear friends. Try to identify the brightest points of yours, capitalize on the brightest points. உங்களை யாராவது எதுக்கெல்லாம் அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்கன்னு யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. எந்தெந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸ்க்கு அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்களோ அதெல்லாம் உங்களுடைய brightest points. List down all those appreciation points. You will definitely come to know what are your brightest points, and those things are called as success indicators for you. Now, my fourth insistence. The next point factor which makes a person not to take steps, not to think about placement on a healthy regard. The next factor which makes a person not to have a good attitude in terms of placement and having the growth in the life is your shyness. Shyness. Now, where does this shyness come from? Where does this thinking of shyness come from? இது எங்கிருந்து வருது அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கேட்டா நம்மளுடைய பேரண்ட்ஸ் கிட்ட இருந்து வருது. shyness is hereditary. It is being obtained like a legacy. Shyness அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு மேட்டரை வந்து நம்ம அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு பாரம்பரியமா அப்படியே வாங்கணும். So you have to understand this. ஆனா இதை ரிமூவ் பண்ண முடியுமா சார்? Yes, definitely you can remove. உங்களுக்கு எது இல்லைன்னா shyness அப்படின்னு யோசிங்க. Like for example, see when I go to the top of the building, I get scared. எனக்கு உயரத்தை பார்த்தா பயம். When I think of the height, I'm scared. When I think about the deep blue sea, I'm scared. When I think about cockroaches, I get scared. So இதெல்லாம் scaring கிடையாது. All these things are phobias. So phobias were scare were. So these phobias are resulting to what? Shyness. Now, how to better and how to take control of these shyness factors, my dear friends? Very simple. When you have the fear and phobia for height, you have to visualize as if you are always being in the height. There is no other way out. If you have the phobia for speaking on the stage, if you have the phobia for facing the entire crowd just like what I'm doing, you have to see in your mental picture how you are going to see. That is, you have to see realistic picture in your mind as if you are seeing the people in the crowd. You have the phobia for facing the interview. You have the phobia for facing the GD. You have to keeping on visualizing as if you are into the interview, as if you are into the GD. So this visualization is the only way which could be acting as a tool for retarding these weaknesses. உங்களுடைய ரியல் டைம் வீக்னஸஸ் தான் இப்போ நான் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேன். இதை எப்படி அவாய்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற மெஷர், சிம்பிள் மெஷர் தான் நான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன். If you are not following, your choice. If you are following it, definitely you are going to be a person who are going to take virtual heights. Because I don't compel anything. In the visualization, நீங்க பண்ணி தான் ஆகணும்னு நான் சொல்றேன். You might do it. You can perhaps take it as a step. எடுக்கிறது எடுக்காதோ உங்களுடைய சாய்ஸ் தான். Right? So my friends, the next insistence, the fourth point I would like to insist upon is don't have shyness. If you have shyness for one particular point, you have only one way to avoid it. Either visualize as if you are doing the same thing again and again, doing the shy thing again and again, or try to take chance and face the shy factor again and again. அப்பதான் வந்துட்டு you will get the soul feel. What do you mean by soul feel? S-O-U-R. மறந்து போகிறது. அதான் soul feel. You will get the soul feel about your shyness factor only if you are continuously doing the same thing again and again. There is no other way out. Not even God can save you out of this if you are not following this step. So this is my fourth point. Fifth point I would like to insist upon as far as all you people are concerned. How many people are really having the belief that placement can be definitely obtained only if the academics are being controlled on? How many people have the awareness that academics has got more to do for placement? How many people have got the awareness that companies are looking for your academic scores, only then they are looking for your behavioristic traits? See, I might be a master of speaking. I might be a master of thinking. I might be a master of creative ideas. I might be a master of complete corporate ideas and corporate strategies. But all those things go as waste if I don't have a proper measurable percentage that I have. I mean, if what the percentage I have is not actually compatible enough to match the criterion of the company அப்படின்னா என்கிட்ட இத்தனை குவாலிட்டிஸ் இருந்து எந்த விதமான பிரயோஜனமும் கிடையாது. I would like to say some companies. My favorite company is Accenture. Accenture wants the engineering students to hold 60% in plus 2, 60% aggregate in the UG. As far as the MCA and MBA are concerned, Accenture wants 60% in plus 2, 60% in UG, 70% in your PG. Second company, Infosys. Infosys wants 65% in 10th and plus 2 and 65% in UG and PG. Tata Consultancy Services, it means 65% in 10th plus 2 and 70% in UG and PG. Wipro Technologies, 65%, just like Infosys has, 65% in 10th and plus 2, 65% in UG. You get sir, 10th and plus 2 and the percentage illana. Am I going to be completely non-eligible? No. You have certain relaxations. If you take 100% of the software companies, starting from any branch, you be a mechanical engineer, you be a triple E, you be an EC, you be a CSC, you be an MBA, you be an MCA. starting from mechanical engineer till an MCA graduate. 65% of the companies are not looking forward to your 10th and plus 2 marks. Only the rest of the companies are looking for 10th and plus 2 marks. So we have other branded companies which are looking only for the UG and PG aggregate marks. But my dear friends, as far as the UG is concerned, 65% aggregate is mandatory, is must. And more importantly, we are very fortunate. Why? Almost all the companies have dropped down the decision of looking into no history of arrears category. No history of arrears, basically speaking, உங்களுக்கு arrears இருந்திருக்க கூடாது. அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய கம்பெனிஸ் வந்து eligibility criteria வச்சிருந்தாங்க. But right now, there is not even a single company which is looking for no history of arrears. Few mechanical companies are there, like Hindustan Motors, John Deere, Mahindra and Mahindra, are looking for no history of arrears, of course. But as far as software companies are concerned, they are not looking for no history of arrears. But 65% without standing backlogs without current arrears. எந்த arrearsம் இல்லாம கண்டிப்பா நீங்க 65% வச்சிருந்தா you all are eligible. Check Mahindra is the only company which takes you how many ever arrears you have. Irrespective of the matter, how many ever arrears you have. எத்தனை arrears உங்களுக்கு இருந்தாலும் உங்களை செலக்ட் பண்ற ஒரே கம்பெனி Tech Mahindra. But all the companies are not Tech Mahindra, my dear friends. So we have to have the tenacity to concentrate the fundamental bridgement, and that fundamental bridgement is your academics. And the academics அப்படிங்கிறது தான் first step. And the first step, sir, what if I have multiple numbers of arrears? 5 arrears, 6 arrears எனக்கு இருக்கு. அதை கிளியர் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு என்னோட எதிர்காலத்தை பற்றி யோசிச்சேன்னா எனக்கு ஒளிமயமான எதிர்காலம் தான் தெரியுது. நான் கிளியர் பண்ணணும் தெரியல அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி if you are having a negative attitude, still you have lots of companies. But I don't encourage that. என்னால் அப்படி அரியர்ஸ் வந்து இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல உங்களை எடுக்கக்கூடிய கம்பெனிஸை இன்னும் என்னால் லிஸ்ட் பண்ண முடியும். But let us not have that culture in VSP. So inter-departmental இருக்க வேண்டாம்னு சொல்லி அன்னைக்கு உங்க சீனியர்ஸ் கிட்ட பேசிட்டு போக சொல்றேன். Let us all consider ourselves as one brand called VSPN. Infosys அப்படின்னா Infosys, Wipro அப்படின்னா Wiproite, Polaris அப்படின்னா Polarisite. அதே மாதிரி VSP student அப்படின்னா VSPN. So I don't want the VSPNs to be selected in the company which does not care about the number of arrears. Arrears மட்டும் clear பண்ணுங்க. 65% வாங்கணும். I will put my heart and soul for making you train as much as I can with the help of all the staff members for getting you placed. And this is a representing promise from all the staff members, including the principal, from my side. I have got solid, rock solid confidence for that. But my dear friends, that rock solid confidence has worth only when you are clearing the papers. So 65% your aggregate should be the must. அதுக்கான measures என்னென்ன measures? ஏன்னா இந்த பாயிண்ட் நான் பேசும்போது மட்டும்தான் மர்மரிங் இருந்துச்சு. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி நான் பேசின எந்த விஷயத்தப்போ மர்மரிங் இல்லை crowdல. Only when I was talking about academics, there was murmuring in the crowd. So இதுக்கு என்ன ரீசன்? உடனே உங்க மைண்ட் திங்க் பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்குது. என்ன திங்க் பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்குது? academicsல சப்போஸ் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டா இல்லைன்னா ஐ எம் அவுட் ஆஃப் த பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் அப்படின்னு திங்க் பண்றதுனால தான் பேசுறதை கவனிக்காம பேச ஆரம்பிக்குது. உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ்குள்ள பேச ஆரம்பிக்குது. That attitude should be changed. அரியர் வச்சிருக்கிறது பெரிய தெய்வ குத்தம் ஒன்றும் இல்லை. ஆனா கிளியர் பண்ணாம இருந்தால் அது கண்டிப்பா தெய்வம். கை தட்டு நான் சொல்லிட்டீங்க தெரியுது. தேங்க்யூ தேங்க்யூ தேங்க்யூ. என்கிட்ட எப்படி வேணாலும் விட்டுருங்க. ஆனா வேற யாராவது வந்து இந்த மாதிரி வந்து பேசிட்டு என்கிட்ட நீ கை தட்டினாலும் நான் இப்படியே தான் பேசிட்டே இருக்கேன். நான் கை தட்டினா தான் இப்படிலாம் பேசுவேன்னா எனக்கே நினைக்காது. ஏன்னா திருப்ப முடியாது. நான் பேசிட்டே இருக்கேன். அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் அதர்வைஸ் சார் சரி சார் ஓகே சார் நான் எல்லாம் மாறிக்கிறேன் சார் விட்டுருங்க சார் அப்படின்னு நீங்க சொல்ற வரைக்கும் நான் இப்படி பேசிட்டே தான் இருப்பேன். I will not have any drop down on my energy. But as far as other speakers are concerned, if you are trying to clap, if your mind thinks to appreciate them, immediately appreciate. Don't wait for anybody. நாலு பேர் கை தட்டினா தான் அஞ்சாவது நான் கை தட்டுவேன்னு வேண்டாம். If you want to appreciate it with the full heart. Actually speaking, if you start appreciating, இதை நான் appreciation எடுத்துக்கிறதா? So actually speaking, if you start appreciating, if you clap as a one person, automatically நம்ம கல்ச்சர் தான் தெரியும். ஒருத்தர் கை தட்டிட்டாங்கன்னா போதும் எனக்கு நீ ஸ்டார்டிங் மட்டும் பண்ணி கொடு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு மட்டை கல்வியும். So that's how it goes. Coming back to the point, my friends. So my fifth point, my fifth insistence is I want you to clear your academics 65%. Probably in the entire session ரொம்ப முக்கியமான பாயிண்ட்னா நான் இதான் சொல்றேன். I see plenty of people, my dear friends. When I was working in a private college as a soft skills trainer, now I am a consultant. My company's name is Youth Corp. The Youth Corp அப்படிங்கறத வந்து இந்த ரூரல் ஏரியால ஒரு பெரிய லெவல் கம்பெனியா கொண்டு வரணும்ன்றது என்னோட கனவு. So I take steps for it. But before I established Youth Corp, when I was working in a college, in a private college, I had the experience of seeing plenty of people. A boy who could talk very well on an exuberant way. A girl who could give lots of solutions for any kind of puzzle that is given to her. Another boy who could talk with corporate level English. Another girl who could have the brain tenacity of solving any sort of aptitude problems. If the எல்லாத்தையும் பார்த்துட்டு they will immediately get shortlisted for the GD. They will get shortlisted for the interview also. And after the interview, they would have done the interview handsomely. அட்டகாசமா படிப்பாங்க. கடைசியில when they are looking into the certificates of that particular candidate, they will be miserably scratched down just because they don't have the proper percentage. அது ரொம்ப பாவமா இருக்கும். That kind of failure is a very very miserable failure. 100 motivators இருந்தாலும் அந்த பர்சனுக்கு சமாதானம் சொல்ல முடியாது. அந்த கட்டம் யாருக்கும் நடந்துடக்கூடாதுங்கிற அந்த இடத்துல நான் சொல்றேன். Another example, there was one more guy. His name was Anthony Stanley. Our Infosys place another. So he got placed in Infosys, my friends, and Infosys criterion was when he was a 2006 class student. When he entered Infosys, the eligibility criteria was 68% in 10th plus 2 and 65% in undergraduation. He had 63.5 in UG, but 70 in 10th plus 2. So we sought for an excuse from the HR called as Mr. Narendra Medappa. Mr. Narendra, அவர்கிட்ட போய் excuse கேட்டு we wanted Stanley to attend, and Mr. Narendra was kind enough to allow Stanley to take part. And he took part, he cleared the aptitude, he cleared the puzzles, he cleared the interview. Infosys GD இருக்காது, so he cleared the interview. And Narendra was the first person to congratulate him. You are the number one example for making others grow, and that academic percentage is not really important. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவர் நல்லா பேசி போனார். Moment came when Stanley had to carry his certificates to Infosys, and then he has to submit all the certificates to the HR department. Narendra was not the part of that particular HR department. It was in Bangalore. Narendra came from Chennai, but the initial training for the Infosians would be in Bangalore. So in the Bangalore HR department, when my brother Stanley he submitted the certificates, percentage அடுத்த செமஸ்டர்ல percentage increase ஆயிருக்கிற நம்பிக்கையோட அட்டெண்ட் பண்ண. He had his arrears clear பண்ணியாச்சு. Percentage வந்துட்டு ஒரே ஒரு percentage short. 64.5 something வச்சிருந்தாரு. But he was rejected that. They gave him only 5 days grace period for looking for any other alternative when he gets out of Infosys. He cried a lot. அவனுக்கு அம்மா இல்லை. So சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து வந்து he's like my younger brother. அவன் அன்னைக்கு அழுதது என் கண்ணுக்குள்ளே இருக்கு. அது வந்து ஒரு யங்ஸ்டருக்கு வரக்கூடாத ஒரு கஷ்டம், ஒரு யங்ஸ்டருக்கு வரக்கூடாத ஒரு வலி. Just imagine how bad his father might have felt. அது மாதிரி இங்க இருக்கிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸோட அப்பா அம்மா ஃபீல் ஆகிக்கூடாது. அதனால don't take academics light. This is my humble request. So placement very இருந்ததுன்னா, passion இருந்ததுன்னா, you join me, I will multiply the passion, I will enhance the passion, but provided you finish, you complete your arrears and you enhance your percentage. So am I agreed upon this fifth point, my dear friends? Yes or no? Louder please. Right. Thank you. So this is my fifth point. So the latecomers have not missed much. So hope there are no latecomers. Right. So I would like to step on to the sixth point, my dear friends. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now the sixth point, probably the point I am going to talk about is the reason for why you are saying the word yes very very low. நீங்க yes அப்படிங்கிறது கூட லோவா சொல்றதுக்கான காரணம் இப்ப நான் சொல்ல போறது sixth point. Low self-esteem அப்படிங்கிறது தான் sixth point. Now what do I mean by low self-esteem? Just imagine if principal and I have the low self-esteem, we would not be standing on the stage. Low self-esteem என்ன தெரியுமா? ஒரு யூகம். என்னை யாரும் ஏத்துக்க மாட்டாங்கங்கிற ஒரு யூகம். என் பேச்சை யாரும் ஏத்துக்க மாட்டாங்கங்கிற ஒரு யூகம். என்னோட ஐடியாஸை யாரும் ஏத்துக்க மாட்டாங்கங்கிற யூகம். An assumption that your ideas, your thoughts, your actions, your steps are going to be rejected. An assumption that nobody around in the environment are ready and willing to get your points and listen to you. இதுக்கு பேர் தான் low self-esteem. மேரேஜ் ஹால்ஸ்ல மேரேஜ்க்குள்ள வரவங்க பாருங்க, மேரேஜ் ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்குள்ள வரவங்க பாருங்க, தேங்கி தான் வருவாங்க. Why? They feel he has been invited. The particular male or female has been invited. Invited by whom? Invited by the entire family which is running the marriage. But still, the person will be having a hesitation to stepping into the crowd, to stepping into the marriage hall. Why? The person internally, without his or her knowledge, thinks that he or she is not going to be accepted. எதுக்கு அக்செப்ட் பண்ண அடுத்தவங்க? உங்களுக்கு அந்த கல்யாணம் இல்லை, நீங்க இந்த கல்யாணத்தை கலந்துக்கிறதா போறீங்க. ஏற்கனவே வந்து கிராண்டா நடந்துருக்கு. கல்யாணத்துல மட்டும்தான். மேரேஜ் ஹால் இஸ் the only environment in the world where friends, enemies, murderers, criminals all are getting together. வேற வழி இல்லை. You would have invited everybody. அந்த டைம்ல ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸை பார்த்து நம்ம சந்தோஷமா சிரிக்கிறதா, எனிமீஸை பார்த்து அப்படியே பேக் அடிக்கிறதா, இல்லை கிரிமினல்ஸை பார்த்து ஒளியறதா, எதுக்குமே நம்மளுக்கு டைம் இருக்காது. இதுக்கெல்லாம் டைம் இல்லாதப்போ வரவரை போயிட்டு வாங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு இன்வைட் பண்றதுக்கு எப்படி டைம் இருக்கும்? ஒரு சின்ன பையன் வந்து பண்ணி எடுத்து தெரிப்பான், போ அப்படிமா, அதை பார்த்து ரொம்ப நன்றிப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நான் போயிட்டேன். That is what see when you are having the seek for acceptance. நம்ம இதுக்கு முன்னாடி பார்த்தது seek for attention. Seek for attention கூட தப்பு இல்லை, அது கூட ஓரளவுக்கு மன்னிச்சுக்கலாம். ஆனால் seek for acceptance, everybody should accept. எனக்கு அந்த ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி இருக்கு. இங்க ஒரு 850 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கீங்க, all the 850 students should accept my points அப்படிங்கிற ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி இருக்கு. If my points are not accepted on, I'm not a good trainer, I'm not a good public speaker. But if I ask you to learn whatever, அவரை கூப்பிட்டு வச்சுருக்கேன், அவரை கூப்பிட்டு இங்க வந்து ஸ்டேஜ்ல ஏறி பேசுங்க அப்படின்னு நான் சொல்லி சொன்னேன் அப்படின்னா அவருக்கு அந்த ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி இருக்குங்கிற அவசியம் இல்லை. He need not think that he has to satisfy everybody. He is to be accepted by everybody. So my friends, if you are seeking for acceptance, it means you have low self-esteem. Low self-esteem varukku innoru karanam. I'm short, I'm dark, I cannot dress properly, and if I talk, my voice will become so much slumped, and when I'm talking, my face will become so much restless. I don't have a very good hairstyle, I don't have a very good outlook express, I don't have a very good charisma, I don't have a very good personality. இந்த மாதிரி அநியாயமான திங்கிங்ஸ் இதெல்லாம் என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? திங்கிங் பண்ணி நம்ம மாற்ற முடியாது. That is only practical and possible for the steel products. We are not steel products, we are human beings. It was God's decision to send us to the earth like this. So இந்த மாதிரி காரணத்தினால செல்ஃப் எஸ்டீம் அப்படிங்கிறது இருக்கு. So நீங்க அப்படி யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. Why do I have low self-esteem? See, first of all, do I have self-esteem? Yes, self-esteem இருக்கு. இவர் சொல்ற மாதிரி லோ செல்ஃப்-எஸ்டீம் இருக்கா? சேச்சே, நம்மளெல்லாம் எவ்வளவு கெத்து, எங்க வேணாலும் போய் யார் என்ன வேணாலும் பேசுவோம் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி உங்க மைண்ட் ஃபீல் பண்ணிச்சுன்னா சந்தோஷம். அப்படி ஃபீல் பண்ணாம கரெக்ட் இவர் சொல்றதுதான் என்ன சொல்ற மாதிரியே இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி ஃபீல் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அஃப்கோர்ஸ் யூ ஹேவ் லோ செல்ஃப்-எஸ்டீம். And that low self-esteem can be erected, my dear friends. How that can be erected? எப்படி எரெக்ட் ஆகும்? இதை எரெக்ட் பண்றதுக்கு ஒரே ஒரு ரிசோர்ஸ் தேவை. அந்த ரிசோர்ஸ் என்னன்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா ஒரு நல்ல ஃப்ரெண்ட். எப்படா அடுத்தவங்க கிட்ட போட்டு விடலான்னு சில ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இருப்பாங்க. அதாவது வந்து அப்படியே பார்த்துட்டே இருப்பாங்க. வாட் எவர் யூ டூ, வாட் எவர் யூ டேக் ஆஸ் எ ஸ்டெப், உங்க கூட மோட்டிவேட் பண்ற மாதிரியே இருக்கும். அவங்க பேசுறதெல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஏதோ ஒரு உள்ள இருக்கிற மாதிரியே இருக்கும். So when it comes as a formal environment, a public environment அப்படின்னா அப்பதான் அந்த ஃப்ரெண்டுகிட்ட இருக்கிற அந்த வில்லத்தனத்தை நீங்க பார்ப்பீங்க. உங்களை பாராட்டுற மாதிரி பாராட்டி டீசெண்டா உங்களை அந்த இடத்துக்கு போட்டு விட்டுட்டு அப்படியே